Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm on time. I'm actually a minute early. I greet you with the humbleness of Infinite Creator. I am your humble host, David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and the honor of the Infinite Creator. And I continue to pray that each and every one of you will accept and receive the healings, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. Now, with that said, I just this evening did a live stream with Brian of Milky Way Messenger, and in the same vein as sort of carrying on, I like to do a show afterwards because I'm kind of already hyped up and I got some ideas and things I want to continue to pass along. So, but anyway, greetings and blessings to all of you. So, in the light of all the chaos that's going on right now, there are a lot of people who are like, they're going to want to hibernate, and this is springtime. And, we're going to want to stay home. Yeah, but staying home doesn't mean you have to hibernate. And, well, we're going to have to do all these things. Our lives are going to change. And, okay. But we need to move forward, though, with things, not go backwards and go, oh, what am I going to do? Or repress ourselves or put ourselves in, in some kind of other kind of situation or something. We need to move forward with any kind of project if it's just close to home. So, okay, so you can't take that, that vacation to Disney World. Maybe there's something else you could do with your family. Hey, Millie Cow, I'm so glad spring is happening already. Yeah, and it's official today. So, I've been watching the azaleas bloom up the driveway and the landscaping that I put in so many years ago that continues to give me pleasure and joy every spring. I don't, yeah, I don't like the cold very much either, but we didn't have enough cold. Um, there's fruit trees and things that need so many cold hours, pecan trees and stuff, and we didn't get enough cold hours down here at all. Nowhere near what we should have gotten cold hours. So it's going to be interesting about berries and fruits and things and stuff that won't produce or because of that. But we'll see. Keep our fingers crossed. Um, I know there were some trees that were blooming early, like the mulberry tree, and it killed everything on it because it bloomed too early. We'll see if it recovers and what happens anyway. But with this, the idea though that springtime, we should always look forward, and even in the fall, well, when it's cold and it's really nasty outside, yeah, you kind of have to go in. But now that spring is officially here today, this Friday, the March the 20th, the vernal equinox, it's time, we're moving into summertime now. So the energy, the life force, the whole idea of this is that now it's time that we do other things. So people say, well, I'm the kids have to be home from school and I got to be off of work and I have to, okay. So maybe this is a good thing for you and your family to get closer together. Maybe you take the hibernation. Maybe you've actually been hibernating in your job and in the life that you've been leading. And you haven't had the time for your children or with your children or with your other family members or whatever, or for, time for yourself even to do a project or something that's needed to be done, and not necessarily something that costs you an arm and a leg in case you're in financial, straits, God forbid. But to the point, though, what we all need to do is not panic over any kind of situation with what's going on, but we need to spring forward with our ideas. Okay, so in the spring, farmers around here are already planning ahead. So that's what most folks don't do. They don't plan ahead so much. And it's like, why? They're tilling their fields. They're getting ready to plant. This is what you do this time of year, right? Hey, project, how are you? So, but there are a lot of folks who just aren't aware of what I guess a lot of us normal folks out here in the country, it's springtime. It's time to plant. It's time to move forward. Things are growing. The trees are sprouting. The trees are doing this. It's time to move forward. So each of us need to look in our own lives how we move forward. I can speak. I've been working on a project out here. I promise I'm going to do a video of the my front porch project, which is going on 2 years now. And oh my God, is it difficult to dig in this clay? But I got a good portion of the footer in and cement in, and the blocks are in, and it's coming along. But it's required a lot of hard work. But I don't mind the hard work. That's not the point. I could just say, oh, well, I don't know. It's just too hard for me. I'm getting too old for this. Nah, I got to keep saying, hey, listen, I'm, I used to be able to do this. Why can't I do it now? It takes me longer. Big deal, but it's getting done. So I'm moving forward with the project, regardless of how old I am or whether or not my back hurts I'm moving forward with the project. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Good evening to you as well in your world, and blessings always to you and yours. But so, but there are many people who are I'm afraid because of the current chaos. I don't want to use the CV word. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to taint it in any way, give it energy. But we all know what we're talking about. But I did a video a couple of months ago about the supply chain and how fragile it was. Here we go. And I was trying not to be a harbinger of bad news back then, but here we are. Not so much exactly what I said, but I tried to warn everybody. Be careful. This is fragile. This just in time. But here's my point. There are things that are still available. For example, how many people are in the gardening center of any garden center buying out all the tomato plants or something? Or how many other people are doing, you know what I'm saying? So where people are in the aisles, scrounging for these things, maybe you should look forward and just buy some plants at the garden center or something. It's, if you're going to have to be home with the kids, then grow something and get involved, bring your core unit closer together. So rather than worry and panic about everything, well, we went down to the store and we spent a few bucks and we got some plants and we're going to grow these plants, and we don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to send some good energy and we're going to help them grow. See, that's going to help the whole life flow thing by growing something, by helping nurture something else. If we can't fix the world, we can fix our own little world where we live. So we can still spring forward in that. Buy a package of seeds and start them. Do something that is a positive thing in the future. If you don't I don't know how to grow vegetables. Okay, then buy some flower seeds. Or do something. Do something. And by nurturing with whatever it is that you grow or that you work with your hands, it's going to bring you closer to the nature of things. And, necessity is the mother of invention. So, for example, the toilet paper thing, and they didn't have it in the local store either. I was a little surprised, but not really, just okay. But more as a curiosity, why the run on toilet paper, So there wasn't a run on seeds, So, but this time of year is like, I'm thinking seeds, I'm thinking plants, I'm thinking finishing the porch and the greenhouse and getting this. I'm moving forward a little slower than I'd like to be, but hello, Teresa, how are you? And Julianne, how are you? Good to see you all. Project, hi again. And if I miss somebody, blessings to you. But for the idea, all native cultures, you pick one, all native cultures see this day of spring as life-giving. We've made it through the hard winter. Now, I know there's still snow in places and stuff. I mean, some of the high Sierras in Northern California received several feet of snow. If they needed it, it came at a weird time, but at least they got it. So they'll have water for more water for the summertime. So, all things said and done, is like, well, it came a little late, but they got it. So, but in the reality of things, we need to not project panic for our future, but project an alternative. So we spring forward with our thoughts. Well, oh my goodness, all these things are closing down, and this is gonna have to change your plans. Then look forward and say, okay, so what can I, we got to make lemonade out of lemons, right? But does it have to be so bad? So we spring forward with our thoughts, with our actions, with our energies. We put positive energy forth. Okay, so the rest of the world and things are a little crummy. but we're going to spring forward with our own positive thoughts and go, well, I'm going to make the best of it here. Me and the kids, or me and the family, or me and the neighbors, whatever your situation is, we're going to figure this out. We'll weather it out. We'll figure it out somehow. And that's how we spring forward, so, but it isn't like just this year, it's anytime. Now, springtime in the vernal equinox, vernal equinox. The other one is the autumnal equinox, which is near my birthday in September. But the idea, though, that that all native cultures and Mother Earth is waking up. I'm looking at all the trees starting to bud. 2 weeks ago, everything was bare. Now, the pear trees around here are blooming. I got the azaleas are blooming. Some of the other fruit trees, or some of the wild plums are blooming. There's honeysuckle that's blooming. The wisteria is blooming. The roses are blooming. Things are coming out. So there is life coming out. So we need to take advantage of that. Take advantage of the life that is coming forth on its own through Mother Nature. And if we don't have anything to grasp onto, we need to grasp onto the growth and the new beginnings that are happening through Mother Nature. So it brings us out of hibernation. Now, there are going to be people who are going to want to hibernate because of this current situation. All right, I get it. But listen, there's a difference between, protective isolation versus hibernation. Hibernation is going within but I down here in the swamp, I kind of live in protective isolation. People can come down to my driveway, but they usually don't. But to the point, though, my little world down here is of my own creation. I mean, it rains, things, trees fall, blah, 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 stuff happens. But basically, whatever really happens around here, other than the grass growing and weeds and stuff, common natural things, it's of my own creation. So I try to work with Mother Nature as much as possible over the years. So Miss Teresa says, I've been feeling everyone else dark energies. Yes, for fear and anxiety has been draining me, but I'm enjoying nature and keeping mind positive. Thank you, Teresa. And that's one of the things. I was feeling it earlier today, and I thought, we took a trip back into town and got some groceries, stopped by a couple of bridges, looked at the river conditions, because we were in flood conditions about a week ago. And the river looks really good. Going to go kayaking soon, hopefully, maybe even tomorrow. But get back on the river and get more positive, regardless of what's going on the planet. I'm still going to take charge of my life. And, there are simple things that I've learned how to do that please me to no end by just getting in a kayak and getting on the river and spending a couple of hours. Oh my God, it rejuvenates me every time, no matter how tired I am, how sick or how bad I'm feeling. I go get on the river. So find something that is suitable and compatible with you. Water if you can get near decent water, that's always healing in some way, shape, or form to the mind and the spirit, and and to the body. If you can get near decent salt water, go put your feet in some salt water. It will help you, and help connect you to the rest of the planet as well. But and now is the time, if with people having extra time, maybe now's the time to try to find some of that silence, some of that quiet. Maybe they need to allow certain things to catch up with them, things that have been worrying them too much. Maybe they need to learn how to be more calm now. But again, I want to reiterate, though, it doesn't mean that we should hibernate. We may have to isolate ourselves and stay away from big crowds for a while, make sure this big scare they're talking about goes over, and and things calm down and goes back to normal in a little while. And that's how we should look at this. Okay, I'd rather stay at home for a little while and be safe than sorry. Let's look at this in a positive light versus, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. No, it ain't. This ain't going to stop the world. It's going to change it. It's going to alter it. It's going to modify some things. But trust me, in my 7 years of being on this planet, there's all kinds of stuff that happened. I mean, I lived through the Kennedy, and I saw Oswald get shot in live television, in Dallas that Sunday morning. There are things we have lived through. Everybody thought we'll never make it through this. We've made it through times. I've talked about the virus and back in the 1917, 18, 16, back in that period, 100 years ago, and now I don't know whether it's going to be that bad. Let's hope not, because a third of the planet died in a 2.5, 3 year period. A lot of people around here. But the thing is that they weren't like in close contact. They didn't have cars and stuff. They didn't have what we have these days. And it still got a bunch of people sick. So, but the best thing is that the hardy people, the strong people, they're the ones that survived it. Okay. So we need to be strong, it internally, externally, spiritually, physically, mentally. If we're worried about something all the time, it brings our energy sucked right down. You will get sick in a heartbeat if you're, oh God, I'm so worried. What's going to happen? It will kill you. It will. I lived this. You've heard some of my stories about, and the years I went through with ulcers and things. Oh my God, it was. We have to stop. We got to get ahead of it before it gives us ulcers, before it kills us. Because the panic could kill us faster than the virus could. The panic and the chaos will kill us as quick as the cure. You know what I'm saying? So we must be careful, but we must spring forward to stay on topic. So where this is going to try to set some folks back, just we got to take this and go, well, maybe this is a good time to work around the house, work on a project, do something, maybe blah, 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 blah. Find something to repurpose. Let me use my imagination. Nobody's taxing me to be at any particular time or place on time. I have free time. Ooh, it's like a vacation. Take advantage of it then. Find something versus sit in the house and worry and stay on the computer and passing negative energy back and forth to each other. That's not moving forward. That's staying in the chaos. That's staying in the tragedy, and we can't do it. We must move on. We must move forward. So, and keeping that positive energy, Teresa, my Medi-Cal, Ignolite, Lake, and the mountain wind weather, spring cleaning. There you go. Oh man, have I been doing spring cleaning? Oh my God, it's like 5 or 6 years. Some of this may be even ashamedly close to 10 years. I'm cleaning up. Wow, it feels great. And I'm building stuff and fixing stuff. I've put more handles on broken tools in the last 2 weeks. I'm so proud of myself. And they're holding. I've got footer dug and concrete poured and things moved. The trailer's pretty much built. Got to put a floor in it yet, but it's pretty much put together. That wasn't done 2 weeks ago. It's wired and ready to hook up to the truck. Going to put the kayaks on it and go to the river, test it out. And fix the kayak paddle with my plastic welder. So I'm moving forward versus, oh, what can I do? Well, it's too hot outside. Well, so I find a little project in the house or in the shed where I'm in the shade more or something. I've got fans outside in the shed. So if I got a project and I'm tired of being in the house, I go find something outside to do. Take a fan with me if it's too hot because of my condition of heat stroke issues. But to the point, though, it doesn't stop me, slows me down some, but what the hell? But I'm still moving forward, and everybody needs to move forward regardless of whatever your issue or your circumstance might be. Find a positive in it. It's in there. And if you can't find it, if you're too worried, then you need to let that kaleidoscope run in your head and find that peace in your chaos that I was talking about in an earlier video. Find that inner peace and that stillness in you, because there's gonna be some trying times for some people. And we got to pray for each other, as we all do, but there's going to be some other people that are going to go back cray over some of this stuff. And we need to stay even more balanced to offset the craziness, if you know what I mean. So the more crazier it gets, we need to just stay positive. When it swings that other way, Brian had said something before we went on the air about, the free toilet paper, blah, blah, blah. And in his title, and I said, he goes, well, the people won't like the title. And I was like, because it's pushing the edge. And I'm like, I'm kind of like Sam Kinison or George Carlin or something in that respect. Let's show how absurd this is. Like LED lights in a cemetery. For God's sake, what the hell? Let's look at the absurdity of some of these things that are actually going on in our lives, for crying out loud. And then look at our own lives and go, wait a minute, I think I'm caught up in, somebody sold me on the idea of lights in the graveyard. Holy crap, I feel so stupid now. Maybe. But to the point, though, of all of the chaos and everything, Teresa, Project, hi. Hello, Ian. I thought I saw somebody else come in. Blessings to you. Hello. And thank you all for coming and hanging out with each other and hanging out with me. Now, I know I do all the blabbing. But I know that in some way, shape, or form, if this conversation didn't matter just a little bit to you, y'all wouldn't be here. And I appreciate it, and I thank you immensely. Because what I want you to do is pass this along to other people. It's like, okay, yeah, all right. We can stand strong, and we know, because we got each other, if you will. We are the league of like-minded beings. So in that, we are, we're centered and we're cohesive in that. We don't need a lot of explanation or, it's nice to pass prayers between each other, and we do. And thank you, my friends. But the idea that we know that we exist, I know that Michelle and Teresa and Project and Millie Cow is out there, and all the other ones that are further up the thing on the chat room there. But the idea, though, that we're still cohesive because we are members of the League of Like-Minded Beings. And when we continue to keep our thought patterns and processes together, we are making a difference, because otherwise we would be in the same chaos, and we would be just as nutty as the rest of them. Think about it. So, you've heard me talk about somebody's got to be the camp counselor. Somebody's got to be the grown-up in the room. And maybe being the grown-up in the room is nothing more than not being the one to panic. That's just the person that goes, calm down, everybody. Oh, yeah, says Teresa. Thank you. Yes, we are, says Michelle. Project. Thank you very much. But just because we agree on these certain things, and we continue to believe them, we continue to put positive energy into our core beliefs, it's keeping the balance from going absolutely haywire. So oh man, if there's ever a time for you and I to make a difference on this planet, it's right now. Seriously. Because we can be the level-headed ones. Well, I'm out of toilet paper. Well, you know what they did in the old days, right? Sears and Roebuck's catalog. Well, what do you mean? Well, you roll up the paper and you keep rolling it until it's soft, and you use it. And when you ain't got nothing else, you'll be happy to have the Sunday newspaper. What do you mean? Newspaper, when rolled up and run, and will make a backup toilet paper. When you're in the woods and, and things, well, like I've been, there are times when I always take a little toilet paper with me, but sometimes it gets wet and it's inconvenient. And so you got to look around and go, wow. And, an old piece of, I always take a little bit of like a sales paper. Now, not the glossy type. Those don't really wrinkle too well. Hello, Aurora. How are you? Blessings to you. Lady Spitfire. Hi. Bob hates me. Bob, please be nice to us. We're having a meeting tonight. It's our Friday night social. So I don't have coffee, but I got I love these little blackberry drinks. I'm sorry, black cherry. And so when I go to town, I get a couple, and I drink some of them when I shouldn't. But it's It's my guilty pleasure, and I really like the black cherry. But anyway, and it has nothing to do with it's an energy drink or anything like that. I just like the taste. But anyway, but so in this how we move forward, we maintain who we are. That's one thing. We maintain and go, you know what, God, and all this craziness. I remember I'm still a member of the League of Like-Minded Beings. I'm still a member. I'm not alone in this. There are a lot of us that see this, a lot of us who are paying attention, a lot of us who are going to pass along positive energy. Now, if you find out that you're passing along, more information, well, so many people have died today, and oh, did you hear the latest update? You may be part of the problem, and you need to stop and look at yourself in the mirror and go, wait a minute. Am I one of those people that is perpetuating this? It's all right to look at the news and go, that's interesting. Anybody in the neighborhood sick? No. Anybody in my town sick? No. Anybody in my state sick? Well, in Atlanta, I live in South Georgia. I'm not going to Atlanta. Don't know anybody that does. Not to say that there isn't travel going on, but so I'm thinking, well, okay. So I stay within my community, and I stay within certain boundaries, and I'm gonna be careful for the next 2 weeks because everybody's going crazy. And I would rather just stay out of the craziness versus stay away from people. But anyway, because I think it's all how strong we are inside. iStation said, it's so good to see you, and blessings to you as well. Um, Like-minded beings in the collective, yes. And see, so the more that we continue to not lose it, okay, the more we continue to at least maintain a little bit of um, decorum within ourselves on the subject. We need to just understand. I'm going to pay attention. People say, well, what do you think about this? Or blah, blah. Yeah, okay. It's over there. And I understand. And okay, the stores are closing. Okay, things are all right. Well, just still going to stay home and be careful. Still going to try to stay well. And I've always got a little backup of something somewhere, just in case, because I'm just that crazy. But I've also learned down here in the swamp that when crap happens, you can't necessarily get to a store for something. If a water pipe breaks, I've got glue and pipe and fittings. I got if lightning struck the house and I burned out some wire, I could rewire the house if I needed to. But that's me. But to the point though, because I'm going to rewire my shed is the reason why I have so much wire at the moment. But anyway, um, but I've got an old trailer. I could take the wire out of it and use it. But to my point, look for something around that maybe you could do. Be creative. Look at this as the time of, ask the universe. I was having a little bit of trouble the other day, and I said, listen, I got this footer. I've been digging. Oh my God, trying to get this clay level. I kept thinking somebody was digging up, taking the block out. Okay, Bob, thank you. We love you. I kept thinking somebody was adding clay to the damn trench because I'd go out there the next day and I'd start digging and go, well, I'm still a half a bubble off. What the hell? you know, anyway, it's been a little strange, but I finally got it in and it's leveled and it's centered and it's square and all that good stuff. So that's what's important. But my persistence, don't give up. So if you're like, I can't figure out how to do it, well, then I got a different tool. I found a tool, put a handle on it, and it was the exact thing that I needed to finish up the fine tuning of getting the footer level. So it's like, well, I used this and that was too big, blah blah blah. I've learned enough to just stop what I'm doing and go, oh, okay. There's something else I'm not looking for. Okay, spirit, help show me what I need. And it was putting a handle on this other tool, and that helped me fix my problem because it was the right size for the cement and the this and it worked perfectly, just the right width. What are the chances? But I asked for help. Okay, that's the important thing. I said, give me an idea. And it was like, see that tool over there? Yeah, go in the shop and put a handle on it. All right. And it was the bomb, it. Plus I needed to get out of the sun and stand in front of the fan for a little bit. And I really needed a handle on the tool. That was the other thing. I fixed 3 handles at that time. But so the small things was like, well, I don't know. It actually helped my situation out. But I asked, I said, look, I'm having, this is giving me trouble. Yeah. Try this. But you have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to that higher self. You have to be aware that it's there. But it's there, and it will give you little hints along the way. And my little solution in putting a handle on an old tool that was buried in the sand and rusting is now back in service and was exactly what I needed to do the job. There you go. But if I hadn't opened myself up to, and I had to stop and say, look, guys, I need a little help here, And whatever that little prayer is, hey, psst, go get that over there. And I was just like, okay, and it worked. So every day changes, all the situations changes. I'm going to be out there working in the yard, for example, just as a situational thing. So if I get into a situation where I'm having trouble getting level, or I'm working in a foundation, right, and the concrete doesn't want to set right, I've got an issue. You can't panic. You have to say, what is my issue? Troubleshoot it right away. Back up for a second and go, show me what's wrong. So if I don't see what's wrong, I always ask the universe, show me what's wrong. And sometimes it's like really right in front of me, like put a handle on that tool. So, but you ask the universe, okay, how do I fix this? What's wrong? Give me an idea here, And there are a lot of people say, well, I just don't believe in that, Hawkeye. Look, it's with me all the time. All the time. It's always there. So anytime I ask, now the answer might not be immediate, but you got to have faith that if you ask and truly believe, hints will come and be shown to you. But you have to be aware that the smallest thing could be the answer, like putting a handle on the tool. Well, how is that the answer? It fixed a couple of things that I wasn't even aware of, but it was just the right size. But it's the smallest things in our life that could actually be the answer to the big solution. It could wiggle your way in and go, oh, holy crap. I thought, I fixed a button on a shirt and I needed the shirt and I got an award and they said, well, what a nice shirt you're wearing. I mean, I know that's simple, but you weren't going to wear the shirt, but you decided to fix a button. And I don't know, things like it's the smallest things that sometimes lead to something else. Anyway, so find those opportunities, but ask and have the faith and the tenacity, because there's a lot of times you just want to, but I need the answer right now. Calm down. But I want it right. Calm down. But then you gotta give me. I got a problem. I got a leak here. Go shut the water off. But I got a leak here. What am I gonna go? Go shut the water off. Yeah, okay. Go unplug the pump. Okay, but I got a leak. What am I gonna go do this first? And in the meantime, calm down, and we're gonna think about what the problem is. And while you're shutting the water off, they give me a solution. Oh, it broke the pipe thing. Oh, I got a thing and I got another valve. All right, I'll go get it and fix it. But at the time, the first thing I do is, holy crap, I got water shooting up out of the ground. But go turn the water off. It's the first thing you do. You don't panic. And then you look at the situation and you fix it. So whatever it is in your life, though, sometimes life springs a leak. That's why I use the plumbing. And sometimes it does. Life springs a leak, and you go, how am I going to stop this leak? It's energy, it's money, it's, I don't know, however you want to use that metaphor other than for raising cows. That, catch that joke, did you? Mm-hmm. Like the constipated mathematician, but worked it out with a pencil. Millie Cal probably got that one if he's still around. But anyway, that was from the previous show with Brian. I threw that one in, but anyway, like, what? Never mind. You have to think about it. Uh, somebody out there is giggling. I can hear you. But anyway, so with this hibernation thing, uh, Teresa said she did a lot of leaking today on purpose. I mean, like leaking, God forbid, blood or, vital organ fluid, God, we don't want anything like that. Lady Spitfire, I'm very certain it was some of the normal spectrum of, I missed something. Got us, Teresa, I agree with you. Hey, Selwyn, blessings to you. Searching, you will find the answer, Lady Spitfire. That certainly sounds significant. Gotta stay connected. Yes. Um, spirituality. Thank you. And there, there used to be times. I speak in the past tense in this. There used to be times, and it was before I started doing YouTubes, but it was in my early YouTube days when Mother Mary and Sister Helene appeared here in my house and said, "You got to get up off your duff, Dave." I was like, "Oh, holy crap!" But it was during a really low period of my life. I was having all those drug interactions and seizures, and I was on death's door, and that ain't no stretch of the imagination. I was not doing well. And but through it all, it's like, wait a minute, there's still life left in me. How do I choose to do this? Show me the way, give me the strength, and give me the show. I have to work on it all the time. It's not like I get a free ride with this thing, not at all. But I look at it and say, well, but from that point on, I realized that I wasn't alone in the universe. And so, with that appearance of those entities that came here and said, Hawkeye, get your ass moving here, and start these videos because you're not alone. And I was like, so? Well, but do these videos. You're going to do this thing. This is your mission. Mother Mary told me, she goes, listen, I told you it's going to be, and I asked, for years, what is my role going to be? I'll tell you when it gets there. Well, she laid it out. Here it is. At the time I was feeling like I'm the only person who understands any of this. And she said, no, you're not. But the only way you're going to find out is to tell other people how you feel and to tell them the truth, to look at them with your eyes. They can see your face, your expressions, and you be you. And you tell them, you tell your story, you explain things. She gives me subjects all the time, like having this one. We need to spring forward. Mother Earth is now there's the folks down under who are going into they're leaving summer and going into fall. But for them, it might actually be a good thing, with all the fires and stuff going on. So seasonal change may be a good thing for them too. But for us up here on the northern hemisphere, for us folks with the non-flat earthers, we're going through our seasonal change. Let's take advantage of it. Let's move forward. And each of us, even us guys, have a feminine essence in us. Because we are part of Mother Earth, now there are those who are a little overboard, and there are those who are so macho. But even in some of those macho guys, there's some lovability, a little compassion in them, sensibility. You know what I'm saying? So even some of the hardcore, even the mafia, have families and they have love, even though they may be cruel. Anyway, but to the point, though, even some of the nastiest people can have a lovable side of whatever that may be. So, and that is compassion. So in that's not necessarily a male trait. It's more of a feminine trait. The reason I say that. So we use the compassion that we have, and we understand, okay, I can pass this on. I can be nice to somebody. I can point out, look, I think you may be making a mistake here. And or you could say, look, I think you're being an asshole. Stop that. You're messing up. Or you could say, friend, you may be making a mistake. How you help someone and how you phrase how you help them. Well, I tried to help him. Well, what did you say to him? I told him he was effing up. Is that what you told him? Yeah, I told him he was effing stupid. Do you think that really helped him? Did you put your hand on the guy's shoulder or person's shoulder and go, hey, listen, can we talk about this for a second? I'm your friend, and I see maybe you may go head in the wrong direction. And can we go for coffee? No, I just told him, yeah, I thought he was effing up. And you think you helped him, huh? Oh, man, come on. So in ways that we think that we're helping people or that we're going to help them through this or whatever, how are we approaching this? So going back to the visions and well, they weren't visions. Them folks was here at my house. I realized that I was not alone in the universe. Not just not alone. I've had family separations and close friends and relatives, and I'm by myself down here. And oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm all alone. And then I had to break through that myself and go, but you're not alone. So when Mother Mary and Sister Helene showed up here and said, we're still here. Your mission, meaning my mission, is just now coming to its fruition for me. And I need to get up off my duff and start paying more attention and quit being such a whiny pod. And I did a video about the woe is me syndrome. Oh, I was so wrapped up in the woe is me. And I had good reason. I'd been this and that. They gave me new drugs that drove my brain insane, gave me epilepsy worse than I had, and grand mal seizures. And oh my God. But what? How do we get out of this? How do we work through this? How do we regain our sanity? How do we say, wait a minute, I'm not alone. I'm a member of the League of Like-Minded Beings. Whether I can see you all or see other entities, I know that these other entities exist. When I started taking pictures of orbs, when I started interacting with the orbs, when they started interacting with me and shutting my battery down and telling me to go home. And then when I started giving them honor and talking to them, saying, hi, everybody, I'm back. I got my camera. Is it okay if I take a few pictures? And they'll usually let me know one way or the other, like, that's enough. And then the camera will shut down, and I'll go, can I have another one? No, the battery won't. And in the morning, the battery will be fully charged. It's happened to me several times. But to the point, though, so with that, I understood that there are other entities and beings. And I've talked about the spirit that woke me up when the house was burning down. He manifested himself and shook my foot, said, get up, get out, the house is on fire. You have a being that comes from another realm and makes themselves whole enough to shake your foot. That's some stuff. I want to learn how to do that. You know what I mean? We can't skip fourth dimension, by the way. So when all of the things that in my life that I've learned, and I honest to God, these things are true, I'm telling you. I still get the chills when I think of old Mr. Croft standing at the end of the bed, and seeing the ceiling on fire. It was as color as the red on the YouTube red. That's what the ceiling looked like. It was on fire. But anyway, when I realized, and it's been through remembrances, they were like, remember that spirit, that entity that woke you up and kept you off from getting burned alive? Yeah. You don't think we've been watching over you? You think you're alone in this universe? You think you're the only one? But who am I? Well, I don't know. But I was told, as I told you, about age 11ish, there was some kind of, I had this vision with Mother Mary, and she said later on, I got a chore for you. So whether or not I've been helped and watched or whatever, because of this mission of my personal mission, I still, it's not that I question it, but you toss it around in your head and go, that's kind of interesting. But here I am today, now, and at this moment. So all of these things have brought me to here, but what brought it was the significant thing, the factor that changed my whole outlook on this was that I was not alone in the universe, that there were other beings and entities out there. They have been around me all my life. I've had protection, that we got saved from the fire, that when I was down in the swamp for 3 days and the 102-degree temperatures, there were two spirits, one on either side of me, that walked me through the swamp and protected me for those days. I can't explain it, but I shouldn't have made it out. And so I think back and say, but those experiences kept teaching me there's so much more to this universe. You may have a guardian angel that's got a crap load of information for you if you'll just pay attention correct. Not to say that you're not, mind you, but there are times when it's not that I'm ignoring them, but I'm not paying attention. And it's almost like ignoring. But I'm just caught up in something else, and I'm like, I kind of saw the signs, but I didn't really pay attention because I was sidelined. I was busy over here and thinking on this and trying to fix the shed and getting the well dug and all these projects we got going. But at the same time, sometimes even us hermits have to stop and let the stillness overtake us, because even in our hermit stage, there are things that we tend to on a daily basis, and our mind gets off on tangents and things, and we could step on a snake, if it were, as it were. So you always got to look down. For example, but to the point, I went outside the other night I got a little cat dish just literally right outside this window out here, and the cats are always pawing at the window and feed me, and there's 4 regulars around here, and so I give them some in the morning time around 9 or 10, and then in the evening I give them a little evening snack, and it helps feed the possums in the neighborhood to keep them out of my chicken pen. So there's this little ritual going on. So I go out and I do this, right? But I'm sort of barefoot, got my socks on, I go out there and they do the thing, didn't turn any lights on, came back in the house. And I'm sitting here smelling, I'm like, God almighty, that I smell cat poo. It's like, God damn, looked around. Come to find out, when I went outside, one of the cats had pooed near the dish and I'd stepped in it. Didn't feel it, just walked back in the house, and I can't get rid of the smell. 2 hours later, I'm like, holy crap, it's on my sock. Oh, so, but, not being aware, but like, where's that smell? Damn, boy, is the window open? Did they poo right under the window? But in being aware, I wasn't paying attention. You know what I mean? Hang on. Hello?
Hey man, how's it going?
All right, can I call you back?
Yeah.
Okay, bye. There's helicopters in the sky too. But anyway, so even those of us who are paying attention, sometimes we slip up and we step in some cat poo, or life, we step in life's crap. But anyway, but to the thing that brought me and continues to give me energy, hope, forward looking, regardless of what's going on, we are all members of the League of Like-Minded Beings. We're out there for each other, whether we can touch, speak, hug physically, but we can touch base up here. You guys come across I've talked about it before, and I'm not lying. You will come across my mind in certain ways. I don't know if you're thinking about something that I talked about or comments or participate. It doesn't matter, but you'll pop into my brain. Oh, hope they're having a good day. You know, and it's an absolutely joyful feeling for me that we are connected in whatever little tiny little way that we are as part of this league. And I think it's a great thing. And so we continue to spring forward and we use each other's energy. I was a little apprehensive the other day, but well, I'll do a video, yada, yada, yada. But coming on here and yakking for 45 minutes, I was like, participating with y'all and drawing energy from the universe to try to convey a particular message and to try to, in all these days of chaos, I mean, there are a lot, I mean, we can look at stuff and go, things are pretty crappy right now. How are we going to get out of this one? And it can be scary, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I just sit back and go, we'll get through it. Don't know how, haven't figured it out, but if we all work on it as a collective in our own little ways, but if you know somebody and they've got an issue and you go, well, I wish we could help you figure this out, ask somebody because they might have more time on their hands and they may have a similar issue and say, I got a friend of mine who's having this issue right now. You got any suggestions? So we are kind to one another. We honor each other's knowledge and we honor each other's spiritualness and compassion and consideration and cooperation. Look at all those big words. In that we all get along and we'll get through this. This planet has survived a lot of stuff. We'll get through this. So, my friends, I thank you for being my friends and thank you for being part of the league. You're never alone. Never, ever, ever, never, ever, never, never. That was the biggest thing of all the things that I had to learn was, oh my God, I'm not alone. Well, yeah, but you live by yourself. Yeah, but I'm not alone. And but now this has been many years ago, but to the point though, and yes, but when you really understand it, death doesn't even matter anymore because you realize you're not alone. There are all these other things. And even death doesn't mean that you're alone. You may be going back home. Not that that's what I mean for this, but anyway. Project, thank you. My orbs are with me. Absolutely, Michelle. All of you are wonderful. I agree. Um, Teresa may have been a portal on the lake sky. See if there next time you go. Oh, lots of orbs. Yeah, I want to get back to the river and take some pictures. And tomorrow seems to be like a really good day to do it. The first full day into spring. And every year about this time, I always throw the kayak in the river if it's negotiable and navigable, which means negotiating it. But we checked the river out today, and it looks really nice. Anybody in the area? We got a trailer now. I can haul my canoe and other kayaks. So if y'all in the neighborhood and we'll go down the river, it's perfect right now. So, but anyway, my friends, thank you so much. And I continue to hope and pray that each and every one of you will accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, and the wisdom from the universe. I know there's some trying times coming for us, folks. I've tried to be nice about it, but haven't I been taught, for those of you who have been with me a long time, haven't I been warning everybody about certain things? We got to be careful. There's things coming up. The veil's going to be the thingy. We got to always be prepared. Here we are. So if you see anything in your near future that you can continue to prepare for, next to can of something or something over here, not necessarily a run on toilet paper, but it might be that you start collecting paper and learn how, if you can't get toilet paper, you will learn how to use newspaper. You'll figure something out. But think about what the old timers did. When did toilet paper come into being? I mean, 2 centuries ago, maybe, Chinese had rice paper, stuff like that. But I mean, it's a rag and a bucket, okay, and some soap and water. That's how you do it. And when times get rough, you go back to the basics. What do you think our the Wayback Machine folks did? So versus what am I going to do? Just go back to the basics. Don't panic. We'll figure it out. Can you I mean, of all the things that have imagined or like have things, fights over toilet paper and the basic things that are literally are turning people's lives upside down. Oh my God! If the aliens land right now, we're up shit creek, metaphorically speaking. I just trying to throw a little humor in there, you know what I mean? But anyway, thank you so much. So I close. I've been 2 hours now on the air, so I want to finish my drink and sit back. Thank you, Teresa, Ian, Project, Teresa, Michelle. I'm playing around. I'm in a really nice, goofy mood. But listen, at the worst times when I was in jail, I still had to find things to laugh about. Lady Spitfire, I continue to hope that things go well in your life. Um, would Mother Mart ever thump it upon the forehead if you ever listen to? Oh, I missed something. Anyway, I'm trying to go backwards and catch up, and that never really works. Millie Cow, learn about the edible and poisonous plants that grow in your area. That is excellent idea, and I've said it before, Millie Cow. Thank you for reminding me. But you want to invest in something? Go to the store or go on Amazon and buy yourself a good book with pictures about edibles and poisonous and mushrooms. You'd be surprised at how many mushrooms are edible that may be in your area that are actually nutritious and so forth. And if you got time on your hands, go look for them. The springtime, some of the best time for certain mushrooms. They're each A lot of mushrooms have certain times of the year. So go get a book on mushrooms. Go to get a book on medicinals and edibles and because you may need it. I hope not. I really and truly hope not. But the other thing is you're going to learn something and you're going to be with Mother Nature. And by golly, by gum, you might actually heal yourself with something. Hey, Aurora, not if you can't work and get any money. I understand about that. I've spent a lot of time without any money and unemployed, Aurora. And what I realized was that I took up my time with, guess what? Going out in the woods and learning plants and things and stuff like that. That's what took up my time. And that's because I didn't have anything else in my energy and I was driving myself crazy. And I didn't, I'd lost my job and I was out of money. I didn't have money to go look for a job, and living out here in the country, that was difficult to do. And I was like, I'm never going to make it through this. So, but I would take walks, and somebody saw me on the side of the road one day, and I'm walking with my plant book. I said, "What are you doing?" Well, I'm not working anything about. Well, hey, you want to earn an extra couple of bucks? I got something, an old chicken pen that needs cleaned out. I'll pay you for that. Next thing I knew, I had a couple little side jobs, and I had money again. Carrying a book, walking down the side of the road looking for plants. So you never know. But if nothing else, you would teach yourself something, and it will keep you from going bat crap cray cray. If you have nothing else, but there's always an alternative. Is I guess is my point. So anyway, after I was going to cut this short 20 minutes ago. Ha ha ha. Millie Cow, Aurora, best of luck to anybody who's going. Man, I have been so broke. I've been so broke, I couldn't pay attention. That's how broke it was. You can put a lot of fine free PDFs online and print them off. Yeah, that's true. And a lot of times true. And if you can get to a library, there's a lot of books at the library, and sometimes you can get free copies and certain things, and you can at least read up on it and online, and you can look at for what's in your area. There's a lot of things that, if you've got a cell phone and you're chatting with us, you can look stuff up. So, there are ways, but You may not know it at the moment, but just ask somebody, what about this? Be willing to explore a new area without going crazy, but well, I hadn't thought about that one. Okay, well, that's an idea. But then the other thing is, right, and the internet. And here's something else, Aurora. It's intent. So somebody, not meaning not you, but I've had some folks. Well, you give them an idea, they're looking for advice, and you give it to them, and they don't do anything. They don't act on it. Well, did you check about this plant? Here's a book about this, and I think they have it online. And then later on, you see them later. Did you ever check that? Well, no, I didn't have time. What did you do? They sat around and drank beer or whatever. They didn't act on it. So people of the universe, people, folks, ideas can come to us on our own to help us out of situations or whatever. But if we don't act on them, or or at least pursue them thought wise or something, and with a casual comment, you're like, I had this crazy idea the other day, and as much as that, I really don't want to walk through, the potential is there for, you know, you just have to let it kind of work through whatever the crappy scenario is. But you looked at it from like a third person character and like, hmm, if the shit really hit the fan, how would I get myself out of the situation? Well, I could drown, I could die, I could take. That's okay. But how could I get out of the situation? Now, but the situation could be a flat tire on the side of the road. It could be any number of things in our lives. I got to fix a hose out in the back. A brand new hose I bought last year for the garden. And somewhere in my chopping weeds, I chopped a big old gash in the side of this brand new hose. So now I have to patch the brand new hose that I chopped in half because it was laying in the weeds. And anyway, so thought I was paying attention. So I was a little ticked off at myself the other day with water squirting out it when I was trying to get water from my footer and mix concrete. But I realized, okay, we'll fix this. It's an annoyance right now. Okay, doke. So, but anyway, we never know when something is going to happen. I mean, I think the water hose is good. It's got sprung a leak. Yeah, I think of this and then just fix it. The handle broke. Okay, go to the shed, fix two other tools. It was to my benefit. So you never know. But anyway, thank you, everybody. Yeah, that sucks. You're right, Michelle. It did at the time. Millie Cow, be quiet out there too, or they might just eat you. Yeah, that's true. Um, if they try to find their way into the woods, they're going, I am a tough old bugger. They don't want to eat me. They just don't. And they should start on my cats first. There's enough felines in the neighborhood. If we were Korean or something like that, listen, we wouldn't be hungry. We'd be barbecuing them suckers that are running around. There are 20 cats around here when they go into heat. Bow and arrow, anyone? 22. How about a good air pistol? There goes cat number one. Well, he takes pretty good with barbecue sauce. What? You'd eat a cat? Well, I'd eat a cat before I'd eat a human. You'd eat a kitty cat? Oh, hell yeah. I'd eat a rat. There are possums that come up here. They're ugly, nasty looking critters. And I've eaten possum before, but I didn't have to clean them. But if I got hungry enough, I'd eat a possum. But I'd rather try to avoid it if possible. But see, I'm not too far from the river. I can go fishing. I can set out trot lines. There's a lot of stuff I can do. So, but I know how to do those kinds of things. Hey, Truth of Me, hi there. Favor, love, kindness, and all my relations. Thank you so much. I will shoot them if they go for my dog. Yeah, but my point is there are a lot of feral things, and but people, you never know how crazy they're going to get. I mean, for example, in certain places, people eat crow, literally barbecued crow on the grill. Um, you know, Alligator gar, when they're cooked just right, they may have a little bit of bones, but if you're starving, you're going to figure out how to eat them gar. You're going to figure out how to eat them bony fish. Down here they fry these little fish. I'm like, why do you get? Oh, but they fry them so crispy. They eat the tail and the bones and all down the southern fried fish like that. Now I like my not quite like that, but I can see where they're like, yeah, but they get along and they like it that way. Okie dokie, but ways to survive. But people, I think this is going to work out in a good way. We'll see how good, but I think it's going to bring people's minds together, and they're going to reconsider their values. Just a period. Everybody's going to have their own little moment of like, what? And I think, if there was anything that we could have done on this planet to like give people a wake up call, God forbid it's this, but that it's a wake up call. Wait, I thought everything was like hunky dory and nothing would ever break and we'd always have toilet paper. Now all of a sudden people are going to reevaluate things in a profound way. And for whatever reason is pushing it, whatever the agenda, people all over the planet are starting to go, hmm, hmm, what we gonna do about this? And I hate I hate to keep using shit in this circumstance, but with the toilet paper shortage. But here's the thing: nobody anywhere is going to help you when you're out of toilet paper and you can't get any, and nobody else has got any. Who's going to do it for you? You are going to have to figure it out. I'm going to have to figure it out. It's up to the individual to figure out how they're going to wipe their tail and clean it and keep themselves in that. So that's a pretty basic thing. But my point in this is that what? I never thought I would have to think about this. See how fragile things really are? Now that's not to say that they can't be fixed or that we should be paranoid all the time, but that we should always have a little backup. I probably got rolls of toilet paper stashed upstairs and over here and back there. I found a 10-pound bag of rice in down with some books. I was like, what the hell? I got 10 pounds of rice. Okay. Um, but rice and rice and rice and rice and rice gets old unless you put something on it. So, you know, a little bit of Korean kitty might just work really good in a stew. I'm not kidding, but I am. A situation get to the point where there are a lot of feral cats and things. Chow down. But we need to go back to basics. And I think this is going to I'm already back to basics. I don't have far to go. But I think a lot of other people this is going to really wake them up. And I'm hoping for the best. So you and me and the rest of us folk in the with the League of Like-Minded Beings, we can help simply by not going nuts. I'm kind of repeating myself, but I'm kind of bringing this back up because I think it's important. And y'all hung out with me this long, so stay with me. But that's just it, because we can stay with each other and not go off on a tangent and realize we're not alone in this situation. We've got that much more than a lot of other people, and that gives us an advantage. It gives us the advantage of not being better than them, but being prepared. And that's what it's all about. Spiritually, mentally, it is about being prepared. Plant your own food. Yep, doing that. Yep. I bought an extra bag of potatoes to plant. To plant, Miss Deb was like, I'm get another bag of potatoes while we're at the store. Why? One's to eat and the other's to put in the ground. Oh, not a problem. Them eyes and them taters cut you off one. You'd be surprised they'd turn up into growing a whole bunch of potatoes for you. Lots of stuff. Ian, make make her to go much further. Use both both sides. There you go. Maybe people will help the homeless and the poor. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of people that realize that they're kind of right along in that same category with the homeless and the poor and what's really important. So I'm hoping in the long run it'll bring folks together with a different point of view on how we really need to. Oh, do we always have to be so, fight over toilet paper? I mean, there are folks that are like, fresh water. Well, I got two 1,000-gallon tanks full of water. I got a well that I dug and another one on the way. I got water, but I prepared ahead of time. I knew this day would come when I was going to need water. Regardless of epidemic or pandemic or worldwide event, I was going to need water in the future. And I wanted to make sure that I had water in the future. That's it. No other purpose. Is that narcissistic? Well, I'm going to need water, ain't I? Well, so I dug my well and I collect rainwater I'm working on this other well down here. Because I'm going to need water in the future for bathing, washing, drinking, planting. Going to need water. So people who go, well, I don't know. I just, I can go down to the store and get water anytime. Now you don't have water. You don't have toilet paper. What's next? Be prepared. It's going to be an interesting ride. Instead of being panicked about this, I'm more intrigued. Like, I know how to deal with this. I'd rather not use a rag and I'd rather not use, newspaper, but I know how to get around this. A little uncomfortable, but okay. But I'm not literally going to like freak out if there really isn't any more toilet paper. I got quite a few paper towels too, but I'll figure out another way. We all have always done that. So look at this as a chance to really see how inventive and creative we can be with whatever comes up next. I'm bringing the subject back around to the topic. We can spring forward with Mother Earth and with our ideas and whatever this catalyst for change that's going on right now, whether it's engineered to kill us or to change our minds or to maybe this is the White Hat's way of gaining a hold of the currency and finally making that currency switch. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting to watch. But keep yourself safe and look towards your own future. Have you got enough water? Have you got enough saved? Have you figured out another way? If something happens, do you have an alternative? Don't panic. Just ask the question and see what the answers come to you. Which brings me to the end of this. Millie Cow Project. See the positive side of this. Yep. They're as bad as this may seem, I got the okay, let me put it this way. I've done year two ago, maybe more now. I haven't looked back. I've talked about Revelations in the book of Revelations. In the Catholic book, it's the Apocalypse. And what does that mean? Revelations, it's revealing to us. Well, in the end chapters, what does it say? It says there's going to be, after all these changes, there's going to be 1,000 years of peace. How are we going to have peace? We've got to change people's minds. How are we going to have peace? People have to learn how to become more compassionate. How are we going to have it that? But all of these other events and so forth, it's the end of the crappy times. You keep that metaphor going so we can spring forward and take things into the future. Even if it's only for the next 6 months. or the next 6 days, or the next 6 hours, or the next 6 minutes. It's up to us, our intention, our prayers, and how we look forward, spring forward. Use the energy of Mother Earth. She needs us, we need her. And it's a symbiotic good thing going on there. So my friends, thank you all. My personally, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. May your weekend be a happy one in whatever shape, way, or form it can go. Millie Cow says, "You two removed my message. What did I say wrong?" Um, I didn't see anything removed, Millie Cow. Water bowl and a tiny. I don't know, Millie Cow. I know there's some crazy things going on. You're welcome, Teresa. Remember, a bidet. Yeah. Um, and honest to God, in the old days, they had a rag and a little bucket that sat beside the commode. And when you got done doing your business, you took this rag and you rinsed it out and you wiped yourself. And however bad it was, you rinsed it in the bucket. Okay. And then you washed it out. Oh, people like using Clorox and stuff. And okay, just a little bit of soap and clean water will work. And if you can dump the dirty water into the toilet and help flush it. So it's not, ooh, everybody can have their own washcloth that is their own poop cloth. You know what I'm saying? That's all there is to it. You wash yourself. Oh, but what if listen, don't freak out. There is a simple little bucket, little water, little soap, and a brush rag. It's all you gotta do, you know. And until further notice, or learn how to crunch newspaper, or learn how to, or do it with your hand and wash that. Take your pick. Old socks work, you know. But anyway, but to the truth, how did they do it in the old days? They used an old sock or something and washed it out, and that's what they did. So if we have to, we'll just go back to doing it that way. Aurora, as of uh, as of Sunday, my first shut off phone. Oh, prayers to you. I truly hope things work out. I know there are a lot of people. I got family members going through stuff, and it's going to be difficult for a lot of people. We just got to hang tough. And I, my heart goes out to you, Aurora, and to anybody. I've been through tough times. I feel for you. And you think there's no tomorrow. My phone was shut off long before cell phones, and I was stranded out here. My truck was broke down. I'm living in the country, no food, no phone, no nothing, no job. But I'm still here after it all. And I can't really tell you how I got out of it, except that I just kept. I didn't lose faith. I just kept on. So keep up the good work, and we will keep praying for each other, and especially you, for Aurora. Yeah, they won't let us work. Yeah, I know. That's the craps when you want to work and they won't let you. That's the craps. So we'll keep our prayers to all of you, not just you, Aurora, but we know you personally. So we're on your side. I do wish you the best. I wish everybody the best. I want to keep a positive on this. So we'll see how this works. So um, make like a dog with an itchy butt and scratch yourself. You know, there was an old. Anyway, I won't go there. Um, my friends, I'm working on the butt cramp boogie, or actually, it's the butt cramp blues. Um, so thank you all for hanging out, and thank you for having faith. And we'll get through this. We will. So I'll keep sending you all prayers, and we'll get through this. We'll figure it out. So if you're in the neighborhood and want to go kayaking, give me a buzz. The river's in great shape right now. In another month, it may be too hot. So just saying. If y'all in the neighborhood, South Georgia, let me know. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. With love and blessings, I send to you and your friends and all of your relations. With love and honor and respect, I send that each and every one of us will figure out a way to get through this. With all of good intentions from the universe, I pray that we will each find our own way through this and be able to help each other. So, with that, I continue to pray that each and every one of you will accept and receive the healings, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. I continue to pray that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, your relatives, and all of your relations, past, present, and to come, will learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. And I continue to pray that each and every one of you will accept and receive and continue to share the good work, the knowledge, and the wisdom, and the benefits from the universe that you're receiving. Teresa, Michelle, Truth in Me, Millie Cow, uh, Ian, if you're still there, who else? Aurora, please, my prayers are with you. If I was a rich man, I'd send you money. Project Sky, and anybody else I might have missed. Until next time, my friends, have a safe weekend. And remember, we'll weather this too. So stay healthy, stay calm, stay as good as you possibly can. And we thank you, Bob, for allowing us to have this conversation. And until next time, wean and keep yourself healthy. Be sweet, be kind. Till next time, as always, it's TTFN, ta ta for now, from South Georgia at 12:51 in the AM Eastern Daylight Time. See you next time, all you wonderful members of the League of Like Minded Beings. We love you. Thank you. And cheers.